Hey guys, it's Leo from Merkaba, and today we're going to be discussing why fundamentals still matter in today's market conditions. Recently, I was having a conversation with a fellow trader, and he brought up a great point of how recently the fundamentals haven't been great, and the technicals and the price action, they're working a lot better for him. So the question is, do the fundamentals really even matter in today's market, or should we just be trading based on technicals and price action, or just based off the chart? Now, this question is a bit complicated because every trader, every analyst, anyone who trades the market has been asking this question since the beginning of the pandemic, the beginning of COVID-19. The thing is, fundamentals aren't just a one-size-fits-all strategy. They're similar to technicals in the sense that there's a number of strategies out there and different people are using different methodologies and different strategies. For example, you have trend lines, fibs, supply and demand. Some people use Bollinger Bands or parabolic stars, whatever the case may be. Well, just like that in the technical aspect of things, it's the same for the fundamental traders, right? There's people who only use the economic calendar and then they trade based just off of the data. Then there's people who trade the sentiment and keep track of how the market is feeling per se. Then there's people who trade the macroeconomic themes that are going on in the market. So with all these different things, now the question you have to ask yourself is, what's your goal as a trader? Well, your goal as a trader, first and foremost, is to make money, right? That's why you got into this business. But how you do that is you value the asset prices you're trading, right? Whether the value is determined from technicals or fundamentals or both, you value it. Right? You value the future price, what you think it's going to be. Now, in order to value the asset, you cannot only use future data releases, right? Because you have other things affecting asset prices, such as this pandemic right now, right? So the people who just trade these data releases probably aren't getting too many good trades and are, focusing more on the technical side of things. Now, the thing is, it's getting really difficult to track the data properly in wake of our situation. So analysts are turning to something called high frequency data. So if we're speaking in that sense, the fundamentals don't matter much at the moment, and it isn't taking a large effect on the markets, right? Now, what do you do in situations like this? Times like these, well, you have to turn to the other aspects of the fundamentals. You have to look beyond just the economic calendar, right? You have to look at the current sentiment of the market, the themes the market is focused on, the global macroeconomics. Although the data is important, the economic data is important, the market isn't always just focused on that data, right? With that being said, we can come to the conclusion that yes, fundamentals do still matter, but the market isn't always just focused on one aspect of the fundamentals, right? There's different moving parts to keep track of that the market may be focused on or may not be focused on, right? Just take a look at this rally in stocks that I have on the screen right now, right? This thing has been rallying since the beginning, since March, since after the whole, the drop. Why? Well, we hit all-time highs. Look, we hit all-time highs here, right? Not too long ago. But the quarterly GDP hit sub-negative 10% levels. Despite that, we're still seeing this rally and rally and rally. So how do fundamentals matter in that sense? Well, we know that the markets aren't just focused on that sub-10% GDP, right? They're focusing on other things. For example, one of the biggest things is the major central banks around the world, and mainly the Fed, who have all been doing the largest monetary and fiscal, programs in the history of markets. When all these banks are buying bonds at the scale, then the recent movement that we've seen in these markets and with the fundamentals, it all starts to make sense, right? So concluding this now, fundamentals will always matter, but there's different aspects the market focuses on at any given time, such as the themes, the sentiments, etc. Now, if you want to learn how to put all this information together and capitalize from it, and to know exactly what the market is focused on and what the market isn't focused on, then be sure to check out our website and the education we offer here at Merkaba. So I hope that helps some of you. As always, if you have any questions about our education or about the market in general, don't be scared to DM us. That's it for this one, traders. It's Leo signing off.